But, okay. So I did end up buying some decoupage stuff for the blocks that we're gonna make. The blocks were a gift from a friend of mine. They found them or had them, I don't know what. But they thought that it would be good for us to do on my show, or me to craft and like put some of my ESSA gear in there. But to be honest, I don't really want to put the gear necessarily in there, because I realized like that I'll show you these are the blocks. Now the decoupage stuff's coming. Let's see. All right. So this is all wood crafts that I've done, and well, this one I need to paint still. That one I need to do. These are all my wood crafts I've made. Now this is a Matryoshka doll, and I started making her and I never finished her. But I was thinking we could probably like finish her, right? Looks like she needs some work. But yeah, we could work on her and finish her. So yeah, so there you go. And then in this one, so this one's all the wood crafts that I've done. I still have more. I just got a new, tomorrow I'm getting a new therapist, and saying goodbye to my therapist of like, I think it's been, about like almost 2 years, and I have to say goodbye tomorrow. But I get a new therapist tomorrow. So I get to see her kind of a lot. So, and she's an art therapist as well. So I have like a lot of these things where you can put like different like expressions on them, and like you know, like different like emotions and stuff. And like these are cute. They're like little baby ones. I want to paint them. Then I have like little ball and people. And so I thought when I finished these, I could I'll put him there. Put all the wood toys that I've made in here. I also was showing earlier, I have these like wooden cookie things. They're like Christmas cookies. Anyway, we can paint those at some point. So those get painted, and then I have my Lafufus in here. Guys, I got this one today. I only bought one Lafufu. He's got little fish in his eyes. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't notice that. This one I got from Five and Below, but it was $8, so I only bought one. But actually, he's growing on me. And these are all my Lafufus. I do have two real Labubus, and one's called Panda. So yes, I do have also the paint picked out for these. They're gonna be like a pinkish, oh, I don't know, like a pinkish peach color and like a blue, light blue. So like the trim's gonna be light blue. This is gonna be like a pinkish peach color. That's the plan. All right, let's get to painting. I do want to work on her, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just draw the design. Oh, hey Vanessa, how are you? This is one of those Russian nesting dolls, and called a Matryoshka doll, and there's like many different ones like in there. And they go and go and go until one's very tiny inside. And so I'm gonna paint them all. when I have so many projects for us to do together. But yeah, these are really good for storage. All right, let's get to painting. I'm just gonna go grab. So we're also making this dog over here. I'm gonna make myself some mac and cheese. I already had some mac and cheese, but I haven't been eating well. And I really enjoyed that mac and cheese. It's like a bake one. I'll show you it, and then we'll get going. Ready. I went out into the community today for a really long time. I worked my service dog. We're still trying to get that video uploaded. She did very well. She's been on semi-retirement, but I had need for her because just my needs changed. And so I worked her for the first time in a long time, and she remembered everything. And I was so happy. So, okay. I want to make this, but I don't have time. I don't want to do that while you guys are here because I want to do crafts with you guys. So this is so good. And I'm very particular about my mac and cheese. So if you ever get a chance, yeah, it's very good. All right. So I'm going to put this in. And don't worry, I'm hurrying up. But I know that if you guys are here, you want me to do crafts. 5. Hey, Socceroo. How are you? Okay, so let's just get this going. Are you serious? Are you serious? Very serious. Very serious. I don't think animals are for everybody. But if they're for you, they enhance your life. I have a certain way of living where I allow them in my bed, I allow them on my countertops, and it probably drives most people crazy that I do that. But all right, I need a drink. All right, so we're gonna make a dog thing. I'm just grabbing all my stuffs, and we're gonna get started again. Here he is. Just one thing at a time. We have so many projects. I've got some more paint down there for those block things. And decoupage paper is on its way. Decoupage, if you're familiar with, is the French word for meaning cut out these things and glue them on there. And cut out paper things and glue them on furniture and other things to decorate. That's basically what decoupage is. So we're going to do decoupage, guys. On those over there. They're going to have like little babies with like carriages and like vintage flower babies. And that's what it's going to be. Vintage flower babies with like that pink color. And yeah, it's all happening. We all have it going on. Oh no, I like stupid. My brush is like, oh no. I just bought this brush. What the heck? It's a really good flat brush. Hold on, let me, with 2 hands, I'm going to try to fix it. Hold on. No! How could this happen? How could I do that? What did I do? Lately, I swear to God. I wonder if there's a way I can save it. I think it might be too late. I think it's too late. It's too late, baby. No, it's too late. Alexa, play It's Too Late, baby. Alexa, play It's Too Late by Carole King. Alexa, turn the volume up. Alexa, turn the volume up. Okay, this song is dedicated. Alexa, turn the volume up. Something wrong here, there can be no denying. Because my brush is. Or maybe we just stop trying. Okay. And it's too late, baby, now it's too late. I actually met her for real. She was campaigning for somebody, and I met her for real in real life. And I shook her hand. She's actually a really down to earth person. She's not like I know that she's like famous and stuff, but it's almost like she's just like a real person that's not really like she's very down to earth and really like so easy living here with you. Like if she like she might not be like you could imagine that she's not like Carole King. She was like I don't know, just like somebody that you met at a farmer's market or something. Like just a real person that you could imagine yourself like hanging out with. Like I don't know how to describe it. Approachable. I think that's how you describe it. She's very approachable. Um listen, there's this person, I forget what her name is, Pink Pony Club song singer. Oh, Chapel Roan. All right, Alexa, stop. You know that Chapel Roan, well, that's a little old news now, but like she hates her fans. She's like, "You're weird if you come up to me," and all this other weird stuff. Listen, if you know me, anytime you see me, come up to me and say hi if you want to. I don't care where I met you from or if I have to have some explaining to do. The person's like, "How do you know this person?" Like, I'll come up with whatever. But I am always going to be happy to be approached by people who like me because that's cool. Like when people like you and they're coming up to you to like admire you, you're just like, "You're weird." Like that's weird. Like I don't understand that. I like people who like me. I've been approached by like one person one time that like recognized me from YouTube. And they were just really nice. They're like, "I love your show." I'm like, "Oh my god," like my old channel. And that made me so happy. I was so happy. Um, I like people who like me. So I don't know. I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't know. But Chapel Roan like got mad at this little girl who was like supposedly um uh she was like a big fan of hers and like they were at this hotel. You guys heard this story? And the little girl was like just really like staring at her and stuff because she was like really excited that her somebody she admired that looked up to was at the same hotel, so she was really excited. And she kind of went over to her table to see like if she was there. Of course, she's a child and she's excited about somebody she admires, and they Chaperone sent security after her, and they did backpedal. The guy said, "Oh no, I wasn't security for Chapel Road." But then there was like all these different things that surfaced. You know, there was like these different things that like surfaced about like uh I don't know, that she like doesn't like her fans and that she does all this stuff. Put it in rubbing alcohol? That's a thank you. Wait a second, I also have nail polish remover. Oh my gosh, you're right. That would something like that would work. Um, I'm just gonna use my nail polish remover to clean that. Hold on, I will do it in a minute. I did not. Thank you. I did not see your comment there. Um, Honestly, being famous must be really hard because like everything's fine until it's not. You're at the top one day and the next day, everybody hates you. And it is very possible. It is very possible that, she wasn't in the wrong, but people kind of like but yeah. But I think, it's important, to recognize like the people that help you get to where you're at. That's a lesson we can take from any situation. If anybody helps us to get to where we're at, we should always be thankful for the things that they did help us with. Just never take anything for granted because you just never know when you'll lose everything tomorrow. Hey, Sarah. We're just painting. I'm making a dog. This dog is yeah, there's one video. I don't know what it is with YouTube lately. They've been processing all my videos very slowly. Back in the day, they would just automatically upload. I don't know why they're not anymore, but it's really obnoxious because that was a really good video of like us doing some cool stuff, like me with my service dog kind of out in she was doing a really good job in that video because like she hadn't been working for a while, and I took her and she did awesome, and I'm like, oh, and it's taking forever to upload. I don't know. Don't know what to say. So I have cat hair on everything. This is driving me insane. The one thing that I could do away with when it comes to animals is the hair. Drives me nuts. Everything that I have has a layer of flippin' fluffin' hair everywhere. Oh, it sticks to everything. I don't know what to do about it. It's just, no matter how hard I try, I swear, it's just really tough. Fucking, fucking fluff. There's fluff everywhere. Oh, um, it's been a long time since I haven't had a pet. Yeah, same with me. I'm trying to think of when the last time I didn't have an animal was. Oh my god. Guys, I don't really remember the last time I haven't had a pet. I think it was probably like 2000. No, I've always had a pet my entire since I was a child. Like whether it be a hamster or a guinea pig or, like how long do you think you've gone without a um not without, but you know what I'm saying? Like how long has it been? I can't even remember when the last time I didn't have an animal was. I've always had one. Honestly, they make things a lot less awkward when you talk to yourself. It's like, yeah, a lot since you were little. I swear, like even if I was unhoused, like somebody was taking care of my pet for me until I got housed. You know what I mean? Like because I did end up unhoused during a divorce that I had like many many years ago for a brief period. Um, yeah, it's running. Um, and but it's still my animal that I ended up being reunited with later. So yeah, so I've always had one then. It's crazy. I kind of like their personalities and the things they do. Like, look, Are you playing? Are you playing? What are you doing? It's just funny. She just likes when you talk to her funny. You use like a funny voice, like she likes that. She's like, yes, me. I love her. I love my girl. There she goes. Watch this. Nope. Nope. When I had a pet, I had to close all the doors of your house because he would do a mess. That sounds like a puppy. Was he young? I'm okay. I used to have a Westie. She was my first dog. Her name was well, I used to call her Rinpoche. First, she came to me with the name Casey, which was very close to my own name. So I started to call her like Rinpoche is uh like a reincarnation. I don't know if you're familiar, like in the Buddhist. And I felt like she was like a reincarnation of a twin sister or something. Because we had so much in common, and we were very, very tight, very close. That dog and I. So I call her Rinpoche. But whenever we'd go to my partner's house, um, she would. There was this one spot that she would just squat and just poop right there. And one time she did that, and I said to him, are you smoking something in the house or whatever? Like, cause it smelled like that. I'm not gonna like, I was like, cause everybody knows I don't like when people do that, they smoke any kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like smoking, but he doesn't smoke. So I thought that was really weird. I was like, wow, did he get a hold of something or somebody gave him something? Was just being experimental. And he's like, no, your dog took a shit on my carpet. And she was sitting there with the like most smug grin on her face, like this, like I like her little the corners of her mouth were like turned up, like how, and she was so pleased with herself. Like I don't, I don't know, I it was horrible. That dog was very spoiled and poorly trained. I didn't know what the heck I was doing because I was brand new having a dog. Um, But, like, when she used to, like, refuse to walk, that was her thing that she used to do. Like, she wouldn't wanna walk. She would just, like, sit down or lay down and just, like, refuse to walk. And, she wouldn't. Like, no matter what you freaking did, like, would not walk. So, I used to have to put her in a carriage to get her because, um, I wanted her to have, like, fresh air. So, I put her in this, like, baby carriage for dogs and push her around everywhere because I just felt that it would be wrong to just like not deprive her of like fresh air, and I didn't have a car at the time. So I was like oh my god. Ugh, it's funny. One time somebody tried to steal my dog. Like literally I was at the bank getting money out because she needed to go to the vet and I didn't have a car. And my mom wasn't like a super supportive person. So I called my mom to try to get help to bring her to the vet and my mom said no. So I had a bike. I had this bike that had a milk crate in the back. And I had rigged up a I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kurgo. Kurgo is a restraint safety seat for dogs in the car. Well, I would rig it up to the back of this milk crate, and I would use these heavy duty cable ties that to affix the milk crate to the thing. and so it like would hold 125 pounds. So I knew it wasn't going anywhere. It was very sturdy. And I would put the seatbelt system. It was like on like a harness, and then it was affixed to the back of the milk crate, and there was like a cushion in the milk crate. And I was taking my Westie to the vet. And of course, because of the air, when you're like, the airflow from like, pedaling. So the vet was like over 5 miles away. And I put uh a coat on her. And the vet thought it was so cute. He came out and took a picture of her sitting in the back of our bike with her coat, wearing her little coat in the milk crate. He took a picture and put it on his bulletin board. It was hard not to love us. We were two peas in a pod. I'm thinking of getting another Westie. I really love Westies, but they're just not good service dogs. I mean, I'm sure somebody out there has a good Westie as a service dog, but a lot of them can be pretty hard to train, because they definitely are like a little bit stubborn, and it depends. There's deviations to every situation, or like unicorns as they call them, um but like I really really miss having a Westie. um I just like the way they even stand. Is a very proud, the way they stand. It's like a forward, almost like a forward. Maybe it could be the way that they're groomed, but the way they set when they stand, it just seems almost like proud and forward and just regal. I don't know what it is. And plucky. I think plucky would be the word. It's like regal. Isn't that an oxymoron? Regal and plucky. I don't know. Like, whatever. But I love them. Well, we sure did know how to make an impression. Gotta give it to me. Hand it to me. So when I painted on, okay, so if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, so I'm just painting on a flat coat. And then when I go in with my flat coat, after I just like literally paint, okay, I stipple with this cosmetic wedge or whatever I'm using in lieu of a cosmetic wedge. I recommend using a cosmetic wedge. And then you stipple, and this takes away any brush strokes that maybe, and then I fade this into the rest of it as much as I can. So, essentially I want to get this to be one flat color where I don't see the vinyl like through it, and then I'm going to do a dry brush technique over it with another shade of gray. And then we're going to paint the white parts white, and then I'm going to take an off-white. So this is going to be a bright, pure white, and then over that's going to be a dry brush technique with an off-white. So I will create the texture. Then after that, I'm going to go in with these and sharpen them, and then draw in. Oh, hello, Rory. I am making I'm making a doll of a dog. It's a French bulldog. See? Hello, Des. So that's what we're doing over here. That's the name of the game. We also have other things to color and paint and whatever after this project's done. We're just gonna do crafting on here sometimes. Like why not? Okay, we're gonna make some peg people. I'm actually in art therapy, or will be again by next week. Um, thank you guys for the engagement. I appreciate that. Now that I've got your attention. Okay. Um, yeah, he is kind of funny looking. Uh, I guess you could consider him more of a sculpture than a doll if you ask me, but I don't know. He's not just a doll, he's a high-end collectible. This isn't just for kids. Pea creams are a serious cookie. They're much too good for grown-up taste. They're serious. Thank you. There are people in this community who have tried to convince people that they're not playing with dolls. They're like, "These are high-end collectibles. I don't play with dolls." I was like, Okay." What's that? What are you doing over there? Oh, you're pretending it's a real child and you're changing its clothes? Okay. I'm not playing. It's okay to play at any age. It's okay. Just have fun and live life fully. Looks to me like playing. I am aware of dolls. It's okay. I play with dolls. Let's call it like it is. I try not to do so on camera because it's a little embarrassing. Um, but I think whenever you take a doll and change its clothes or do its hair, um, you still plays with dolls when you get bored. There's nothing wrong with playing with dolls. Um, I just feel that when you guys say that playing with dolls, changing their clothes, like even if you have a high end collectible reborn doll that costs like $1,000 million, like there's some dolls that are like $5,000 that people buy. They're Claire Taylor originals and stuff, and I don't care how much money you paid for that high-end collectible doll that's not for children. You're playing with it when you're changing its clothes, when you're posing it for the camera with all its little toys. And you can say, "Oh, I'm not playing," but you're actually ultimately playing with it, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then the same sort of people will say, "This is not I don't do this for therapy. I don't do this for therapy." That's the next one. Um, I think therapy and the word therapy is a stigmatized word, so they don't want people to think they're crazy or troubled and need that sort of thing. But anything like when people go to yoga, that's therapy. When people go to the beach to take some time to unwind, that's therapy. So when you're playing with dolls after a long day at work to de-stress, that's therapy. It's not just about collecting. I mean, it's one thing if you collect and it just sits on a shelf, but the minute you take that thing off the shelf, and this is just my opinion, and start changing its clothes and its diapers and then brushing its hair and putting a matching sequins clip in its little wispy hair, you're playing with your doll. You're playing dolls. Yes, we are. You could be 40 years old, you could be 35, but you're no better than anybody else. You're playing with dolls just as a child would play with dolls, just as somebody with mental illness would play with dolls. It doesn't matter. I'm wrong. I'm being very provocative right now. Therapy has many different levels of it to help you in some way. It can be considered therapy. Like I sometimes call things like self-care, but ultimately any kind of self-care like falls under therapy in my opinion. But I could be wrong there, but like if people don't want me, okay, but also if people don't want me to say, "Oh, that person is using these for therapy," even though I know they are, I'm not going to say that. But I don't like if somebody is looking down on other people because if they're looking down on somebody else because they need it for therapy and they're like, well, this isn't therapy for me. This is, you know, um, I would say that it may not be therapy for them. I'll take it at face value because I actually don't want to give them a hard time, but it is therapeutic. I think collecting things that you enjoy and painting them and all that is therapeutic in a way that's not necessarily like, oh, I need therapy, I have problems. It could just be like a good thing people do to unwind, to like take care of themselves, and it's therapeutic. But I guess for some people they don't want to say that. So I'll respect that. I'll respect that. I think it's important to not make people feel uncomfortable. Yeah, it's okay. But I do get mad when people like make fun of how other people choose to explore this hobby in these stalls. Is some people will be like, "Oh yeah, all those people doing those weird role plays." And that's a little extra, or that's too extra. Um it is over the top sometimes when you see some of these role plays, but it makes those people happy and it's what works for them in their life. And ultimately, we don't know like what they've been through in their life or why they have chosen to do the things they do. And that's the choice they made for themselves. So I don't really see it as like a problem because it's not it's not really my business unless I want to watch it because it's interesting. I don't know. So, like, there's this one girl who really gets into it, and she brought her dolls to like events that were like for kids and just pretended that her dolls that looked like kids were kids, and she was like at this event. Now, I will say that this is where I might draw the line because that might make certain caregivers very uncomfortable. Something I wouldn't do, but that woman seems very autistic, and I'm not going to blast her out for doing that because she has disabilities, I think. And, but that's what she chose to do. So, they carry them around and help them with stress and stuff. Yeah, exactly. I've seen these people who have stuffed animals and call them S's. I honestly think it's adorable and really sweet. Yeah, I have like a whole bunch of those. Like, initially, like, that exploded. Did you ever notice how that exploded in popularity? Because like I've been part of the service dog community for like many, many years now. And I just don't really engage with the community that much because like the handler train community is different than the professional trainer community. And I'm a professional dog trainer. But I choose to do it more academically because of my disabilities. So I like actually got certified and everything. But what I was gonna say, um, is that we started to see these kids come out with these ESSAs, these emotional support stuffed animals. And because sometimes kids can't get a service dog but might need one, or they might feel that they could need one, and they're not service dogs, they're emotional support stuffed animals, whatever. But that's how it started, and the kids who were doing it at first got very badly blasted out. There was like a few kids who were doing it at first, and it was like I remember when it first happened where one kid had one and everybody just went over to that kid and just went berserk on that child. I actually made a video to stand up for that child. I actually was like, "Hey, I think it's cool." And people were like, they were saying it's gonna impact their service dog by distracting their dog or something. That's just malarkey. That's just a bunch of bunk. If that's like saying your dog might get distracted over like your purse or coat. Okay. I don't know. I think when people in the service dog community sometimes don't like something, or They want to feel like there's this one-upsmanship sometimes because we have disabilities, and we're so limited. Some of us are very limited as to what we can do or have. And so it's important for us to feel special, and that what we have, like, we're very proud of the training we've done with our dogs. And so some people who are insecure will like go to say things about the kids, like that they'll say stuff like that they shouldn't have these, and that they find it offensive or something. But it's no different than, like, in my opinion, like, as an adult, I have a different, I feel a little bit more emotionally secure than the people who complain about this, because I'm just older. I just have different other problems, but it's no different than looking at a doll with, like, a wheelchair, say, and a child who might need a wheelchair, but their insurance didn't really cover it yet, playing with that toy wheelchair to kind of process things, you know. Ultimately, it's their, toys and stuff are the tools of learning for children in general, and for, I think, some of us, if we're open to it, like adults too, like, but they're tools to help us. And the cool thing about learning is, about playing with things it's a narrative. Thank you. It's a narrative, and you're going through a script in your mind, and you're figuring how things out, or there's different reasons why people play, why they but for younger people, it's a way of communicating and processing things as well. So that being said, um don't no one has a right to take away a child's voice, or their means of healing, communication, processing. And the way I look at it is that that vehicle to healing is sacred to that child, and it should be, and it should be protected by all of us. Whether we agree with what is being said during that period of time where a young person, or anybody generally speaking, as long as it's not physically hurting somebody or anything like that, we need to allow these people to express themselves in this way. That's the way I feel about it. And so anyway, what actually happened is that because of this all, a lot of kids came forward and started to get these emotional support service dogs, and more kids came along and got these emotional support, stuffed animals, rather, sorry, service, yeah. And, and now there's even a store that sells them. I think it's in Australia, but I need to do this later. It's like somehow got gray. But yeah, I look at it like we should protect the young ones. Don't they remember playing when they were a kid? Maybe they didn't get to do that. Who knows? But that's my take on it. That's my opinion. That doesn't mean that that's what everybody's opinion is, okay? And it becomes so popular in such a short period of time. And you know what? I'm glad, because it's safer. It's safer that a child has a emotional support stuffed animal plushie than go out and get a dog to train for themselves, with their parents, like, permission, and the parents aren't maybe supportive. They're not going to help them train the dog. And so we know that is safer. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for coming to my live. Thank you for all the likes and everything. Remember, if you like what you see, you can subscribe. On here a lot. It's hit or miss whether we're going to do crafts, but we do crafts every single day at least. I think it's just me, but I say saw a video. Okay, I'm gonna stay for a sec about this one person who bought an ESSA for almost $300, and it didn't come with anything but the stuffed animal. It was cute, but I felt $300 was a bit okay much. All right, we're gonna talk about that. So I want to say this. Um, the reason why probably it was so much money is probably that it was one of those like sold out limited, edition stuff like. But I have seen that these ESSAs, they're Douglas, um they cost a lot of money. Some of them, like, kids are willing to pay a lot of money for them, and when their hair is falling out and they're in just bad condition, um it's kind of it's kind of very personal. So if that person really really wanted that thing, I guess. But I'm gonna tell you a little secret. I shouldn't judge that because this kit, this plastic stuff here, cost me $100. I know. Um, but let me just explain my reasoning as to why that's okay, which I'm not going to do it very often. But because the show has been going in that direction, I have splurged on this nice kit because I thought that I could showcase to you guys what I'm capable of doing artistically. And that might, even though not everybody here is into the reborn dolls, maybe if I put my Etsy shop back up, somebody will want to buy my dolls, or they might want to buy one of these, or order a custom. So that's partly why I did that. The other reason is that I this has been keeping me busy for many many hours. So if you look at how long it's occupied my time, and then the enjoyment I'll get with it after I'm completed with it, will have been worth it. Still, it's a very big treat, and it's an extravagant treat. It's kind of hard to watch people buy extravagant gifts for themselves when the gift itself looks kind of not good at all, kind of cruddy. Like, in this reborn doll community, there's this woman who bought this doll that was like $10,000. And she was elated. Every day she played with this doll. She came home. Well, she didn't play with it, of course. She wasn't playing, guys. She was It had a drink and wet system and everything. I think it was probably more than 10,000, but it was probably 15,000 or something. It was my income. It was half my no, it was a little less than my income for a year or something. Like, it was crazy. And I would get so irritated because, like, you're watching her show and you're like, oh my God, you could have gone on the best trip to, like, Disney World. You could have bought a used car, or you could have done the like with that amount of money. But ultimately, um, ultimately, it's her money. And the other thing is that her job was very stressful, and this very extravagant gift she bought herself was the only thing that she really, like, could go home and relax to do because, like, besides the horse she has, by the way, she has good taste in riding gear. But that's a whole nother story. But, like, if you work your butt off, I say, girl, do whatever makes you happy, buy whatever makes you happy. But you know what? We can overly obsessed, Rory. I agree. Some of these, they look. I seen them. I seen the kids buying some of these Douglas plushes that are retired. They look horrible. I mean, like, the thing is, like, hanging on by a thread. It's got it's like not enough fur. It's like $200, $300 for a crapola because it's like limited or one of their favorites. Or I'm surprised. Um, Okay, bro. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why I assumed. But anyways, yeah, I didn't ask you guys' pronouns. Anyways, okay. So, thank you for correcting me on that. Um, so Yeah, oops, that was bad of me. I make mistakes sometimes. So I'm glad that you spoke up. Anyway, so it's just kind of like I wouldn't do it. But I do think Douglas plush is pretty good price for what you get though. Like actually generally speaking, they're pretty good. Um, they're pretty good. Hello Infinity. My pronouns are she her. And I identify as a cis female. Yeah. If anybody wants, so I'm gonna put a new rule on this channel. A cis female is um. Oh, it's a dog. I thought you were asking me what a cis female is. Yeah, like there's all these terms, right? It can be hard to like keep up with everything, but cis female means like, well, it's a dog. A cis female is somebody who identifies as their biological gender assigned to them at birth, basically. I hope I said that correctly, guys. I'm you know what, when I was younger, things were a lot different. So sometimes people need to be a little patient with me as I learn because it's like such a different, you know. Actually, this is a French bulldog. And I'm painting it because I like to make dolls, but I thought it would be fun to make like, this instead. It's good. It has a body and it's gonna have these like legs and stuff. They thought of everything, guys. It's gonna have legs. Oh my god, I'm acting silly. All right, I gotta go, guys. Thank you for coming to my live. Thank you. I hope it comes out cute. We have a lot of work to do on it still. It was nice meeting with you guys. So if you could remember, if you like what you see, please sub and thumbs up. Thank you for all the thumbs up, also, you guys, and thank you for the silent watchers and lurkers. Because we still love to have people who support our channel through watch hours and stuff. So thank you, everybody. I will see you guys all later. Bye.